Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to do inheritance with one parent class and one child class in Visual Studio C#. Okay, so nansi statement engizozama ukuphendula sona. You'll forgive me guys, nginenkinga yomkhuhlane. Alright, so you might not be able to hear me clearly, but I'll try. Okay, so lapha inansi problem esinikezwe yona, exercise 2. We are saying Angela's cat designs and manufactures a wide range of uniquely designed extraordinary cards. Okay, kahle la they are designing what? The cards. Okay, iwaphi lawo ma cards now, ilama card now. The standard, the wedding and the greeting card. Okay, let's go. They're saying you have been hired as a system developer for this small company and assigned the task of developing an object-oriented C# Windows application to assist in generating quotations for the card orders. Alright, there is a standard card from which two types of cards can be created. Iti uma iti standard card from which two types of cards can be created. It means the standard card is a parent card, is a parent class which can have two child classes. This is a parent class which has two child classes. What child classes? Namely the wedding invitation, this one, and the greeting card. Okay, but for today I will concentrate on only the parent class and one child class. I will not do this one, so I will do the standard and the wedding. Okay, what else? Each with its own unique and special extra embellishments. Customers can choose whether they wish to enhance their standard card so that it becomes either a wedding invitation or a greeting card. Okay, I guess this is okay. So kungenzeka la basho ukuthi icustomer lingachoose ukuthi lifuna uku-enhance the standard card to become a wedding or a greeting, but the standard is the normal card design. Card about design ayo standard. These are just normal cards, and then the customer can choose ukuthi ufuna ini wedding card or the greeting card. But remember ukuthi they are all cards, so they have there are properties that are normal that can be used for all these classes. So lama properties are normally swatolapi from the parent class, normal from the base class. So the base class inama properties are normally atolagala in all the child classes. Yes. So the parent class iyona inama main properties, but not all properties that will be included in the wedding, not in the child class. So each child class even now properties angekho kwi parent class. Each child class can only inherit some of properties. Normal can inherit all of them, but the parent class cannot inherit from the child. Only a child can inherit from the parent class. So this is a parent, normal, singaphinde sibize nge base class. This is a child, and you can call it again as a derived class. Okay, so for today I will concentrate on standard and wedding, one parent class and one child class. Okay, after the what else? They're saying the procedure for using the system begins with the user entering the number of standard cards. The user must enter the number of standard cards. The user must enter the number of standard cards here. Enter the number of standard cards, meaning this is an input from the user. Okay, what else? To order, okay. The company offers discounted prices to wholesalers who purchase more than 500 cards and a further discount for more than 1,000 cards. Okay, so lawa ma discount allow based on ama charges wabo. Then they're saying the basic cost of standard cards is calculated as indicated in the table. So la basitshela ke manje ngani nge-basic cost. Remember, since they are saying this is a basic cost of the standard cards, thina lapha sinani sine standard card and the weighting card. Okay, so the basic cost of the standard is the basic cost which needs to be calculated in this class. So if kuzokwenzeka ukuthi siyidinge le basic cost if kuzokwenzeka ukuthi in this child class siyidinge le basic cost, and then we will need to make it a virtual method to the standard class. Okay, but for now let me not go further because abantu will be confused. Okay, so again here they are giving us the management charges as for a basic cost. Okay, they're saying the basic cost of standard cards will be calculated. Okay, so lapa in the calculator in the basic cost. This is how the basic cost is going to be calculated. Okay, we will follow this. Okay, if the number of cards ordered is between 1 and 500, and then this will be the charges. If it's greater than 500, the number of cards, then this will be the charges. Okay, and then again, if the number of cards are greater than 1000, and then again we're going to use these charges. Okay, and then again they're saying Angela's cards offers extra embellishments that can enhance the design of the standard cards. Okay, at an additional cost per card. Alright, so lapa user the customer can decide to enhance the standard card. Must decide to enhance a standard card. It's either you must choose in wedding, normal equity. But for now, let's say the user will choose wedding. Alright, we are enhancing the standard card. Okay, so they're saying there will be additional charges. There will be additional charges per card. There will be additional charges per card. So now we are going to include another charges based on each card here, on each card. So check how many cards are now, and then necessarily include those additional charges. Okay, so you are picking additional charges. Okay, now they are saying the wedding invitation offers a choice of one or more of the following embellishment per card. Okay, so under wedding card, they have got these additionals. So lama additionals lawa basibonisile la ukuthi the ama checkbox. Yes. Okay, so la uzo selector any of these. It's either all or one or two. Okay, and then after that the cost of wedding invitations. The cost of wedding invitations is calculated kanjani. Let's go over the statement and understand that. Okay, so now we are done running a wedding invitation. This is for creating. Okay, we are not concentrating on that. They are saying the user must select the type of card. So the type of card is selected here from the combo box, and specific extra embellishment as desired. And specific extra embellishment as desired. These are the extra additional embellishment as was selected. Okay, after selecting the module 2, what else? Okay, they're saying the prices of these extra embellishments are indicated as follows. Okay, so if the user will select only handmade paper, then we are going to charge that we are going to say number of cards times 10 rand, because they're saying it's 10 rand per card. So the number of cards times 10 rand. Again, if I select any ribbons, the number of cards, this number of cards times 550, because they are saying 550 per card. So all the number of cards are and then times the price here. And then if in case the user selected all of these, we need to add all these charges, and then this is at an basic cost was stored in the total. Alright, I guess this is from the statement with how do we calculate the final cost. This one, they're saying the quotation program must calculate and display the basic cost of the standard. The basic cost will be displayed here. Yes, here. So this is the label. Let's display in the basic cost. and the cost of either the wedding invitations or the greeting cards with its additional cost of selected embellishments included. So manje sebasitshela ke manje ukuthi lama additional embellishment charges must be included to the basic cost ukuze kuphume ini the total cost of wedding invitations. Okay, now we're done manje understand ini statement. So now let's go to the code. Okay, so now I have already designed the magic UI yami. So lapha, this is a text box. This is a text box. Then I label the language display column results for the basic cost. And then this is a combo box. The combo box yami ngibizengani let me check it. Okay, I say the CMP card type. Okay, my group box. This is a group box. And then this is a check box. Okay, let me see amagama. Okay, the CHK handmade. Then the ribbon is CHK ribbons. And then envelope is CHK 3D envelopes. Okay, and then this one lands of display column results for the total cost. Let me see, it's LBL word invite cost. Okay, so now I'm done designing this, and then let me go straight to the Monday to the coding. Okay, so now I've added this class. Then class lele elelo kunjani. The standard class is the parent class. I've added the class. If you don't know how to add this class, you will follow. But for now, ngicela ukuthi ngiqhubeke ngecoding. Okay, so manje after you've created the parent class, you need to add public here. You need to add public. Alright, and then equal date sizoyenza la. So this is the parent class. This is the parent class. Okay, so la code yini sidinga la. Let's check ke manje kwilokhunjani yethu ama properties esiwadingayo for the parent class. Okay, i-parent class ithomela enter in the number of cards. So iyona nto input here, it's only the number of cards. So iyona nto sizoyideclare ke manje kwi-parent class lethu, because if basic cost is not an input but is the process that you need to calculate. So lena asizoyideclare kwi-parent class noma ngathini kwi-class lethu ngeke siyideclare lena, just sizoyenza i-method because we need to calculate to display this. So here sizoyideclare because in input. So okay, now I'm going to declare it as private. The number of cards is int, and then let's say number. It's number of cards. Then semicolon. Okay, let's go for property structures. I'm going to say public. I'm property structures, so I declare as public ukuze sikwazi accessa nama attributes lawa esiwadeclare as private. So now we are going to create our property structures. It's public int prop number of cards, and then put these curly brackets, and then put the get and setter method. Here you are going to return, what are we returning? We are returning this value because we are trying to access this value and this attribute, sorry. Okay, we're going to return this one and semicolon there, sorry. Okay, and then again put the set method, and then put this number of cards equal to, and then assign it to the value, and then semicolon. Okay, we are done ngama property structures. Let's go to the constructors. Okay, my constructors way to put again so I declare as public, and then you call the name of the class, then you put it here, and then you open the bracket, and then open the curly bracket. My constructors, they are regarded as method, that's why we put brackets here. So here, what are we doing here? We call the property structure. We are assigning the property values to default Alright, njengoba ngisachaza la kuma constructors ukuthi lapha ufika ukuthi public and then standard, the name of the class, and then you call ama property structures. Usofaka wona la usu assign ama properties akho to ama property structures wakho to default values. Yini ama default values? Okay, remember ukuthi the number of cards is the attribute and the data type is int. Int represent ama integers, ama numbers, all numbers from 0. Okay, so since it is number, so its default value it represents ukuthi asazi manje. Currently we don't know the value of this number of cards, so the default value mele kube 0, meaning if the user did not input anything here, so by default we already have a value which is 0. But if you don't put this one, kuzoba an error because the system will not understand which value is in here, because ongama attribute must have a value, not which be null, must not be null, so it must have a value. So that's why here, since we numbers assign it to 0, but if it was a string and then this is assigned it to double quotes, no multi null, yes. Okay, so now this is a default constructor. This one is a default constructor, and then now let's go for parameterized constructor. Again, we are going to put public standard again, the name of the class standard. So where are you standard? All right, and then open the bracket. Okay, lapho kuma parameterized constructors, inside the bracket you put all the attributes that you have. Onkama attributes on now. So now here we are going to put this curly bracket. Okay, so la ile sifaka la, we need to declare again lama location now as now. So the lama number of cards. So this is int, right? We are going to put int. We must make sure that the data type is the same. The data type is the same. Otherwise, it's wrong. Okay. So let us now make cn, meaning the number of cards. Okay, and then here we are going to put this properties and put here, and then assign this one to cn, semicolon. Yes, so this cn represents the number of cards. Okay, so here Mofigala, don't go back to this because this one is private. So this is we access again using a public constructor. Sorry, using a public properties structures. Okay, so sesi access here. So now sesi dilangane a public now here ukuze sikwazi uku-access lelo kunjani. So kahle here we were trying to create the main key to access this one. Alright, so our parameterized constructors way to apply. So now what do we need to do after this? We need to do the functions, the methods. The method is. Now we need to calculate now. What do we calculate? Let's go back to the statement and understand. They told us about the basic cost. The basic cost, we need to calculate it where we go standard class, go parent class, because the standard cost is the cost for the standard cards, meaning this is the method that we need to calculate only the standard class, only the parent class. So we don't need to calculate the standard cost here or either here. Why? Because the standard cost is only for standard cards. So see calculator now. But in case if we need that cost here, then we need to use it, we'll reuse it. That is why inheritance in landing a local, because we reuse. We don't need to code again, no matter to rewrite the code again, but we need to reuse an existing code. So inheritance is sebenza lapho, but you don't need to recalculate it again. Okay, so now how do we calculate the standard cost. Okay, they are saying the basic cost of standard card is calculated as follows. Okay, so we check the number of cards. If the number of cards are between 1 and 500, then we times the number of cards by 24. Okay, let's go to our code. Okay, so now we need to declare a method there too. We're going to say public. A method there to make public ukuze sikwazi uku-accessa nawamanye ama-class. We are going to say public. Remember here we're calculating the cost. So, and futhi le cost lena sizoyidinga. Remember ekugcineni la they said lapha esicalculator khona i-final cost. They said we need to add the extra embellishment to what, to the basic cost. So i-basic cost sizoyisebenzisa manje when kuma-child classes. So ukuze sikwazi ukuba ne-access to this basic cost, we need to declare it as virtual, and then the data type, virtual data type, and then the name of the method. We're going to call it as calc basic cost. Okay, basic cost, and then put the brackets, then put the semicolon, enter. All right. Okay, so now we need to calculate now. So we need to use an if statement because we need to check which if the number of cards are between 1 and 500, and then we times the number of cards by 24. Okay, and then let me declare something like double cost is equal to 0. Okay, ilango storesha khona ke manje le cost enzo calculator la. Okay, so now let me say if prop, I'm checking if the number of cards, I'm checking the number of cards. If the number of cards are greater than or equal to 1, or prop number of cards are less than, because they said between 1 and 500, it means it must be less than or equal to 500. Okay, and then after this put the curly brackets, enter. Okay, so now I'm going to do the calculations. I will call this because in full storesha kona ini ama results. So I'm going to say cost equal to, now I'm going to calculate. What did they say? They say it's 24 rand per card. So now I'm going to take the card, the number of cards, and then times 24. So I'm going to say prop number of cards times 24, then semicolon. Let's check what else. If a number of cards are greater than 500, okay, it's gonna be else if prop number of cards are greater than 500. Then what is happening here? Then again we're going to call the cost. That's the storage corner. Okay, so how do we calculate here? They're saying it's 24 rand per card for the first 500 cards. Okay, let's start with that one. Let me put a bracket here. Because in my calculations are money. So I'm going to take the first 500 times 24. Okay, what else? And a discounted 20 rand per card for the number of cards that exceed 500. So lena bathi basho ukuthi since lapha sicheck ama cards are more than 500. Okay, so about 24 rand for ama card for the first 500 cards, but amanye that are more than 500 ilawo sisizowa times ngobani ngalo 20, the cards that exceed 500. So now we are going to say plus, let me open the bracket, and then we're going to say prop number of cards minus 500, and then times 20 rand. Why meeting minus 500? Remember, we are checking if the number of cards are more than 500. So now if they are more than 500, then izowathatha lawo makhadi. Let's say maybe there were 600, izothi 600 minus 500 kusala ngaphi 100, and then besithi 100 times 20. So that's how it will calculate. Okay, and then let's go to the semicolon. Okay, semicolon there. What else? Now we need to check another one. Okay, we are checking this one now. Let me copy this and paste here. Okay, and then here let me put 1000. Okay, what are they saying? They're saying 24 rand per card for the first 500. Okay, yeah, this is good. And discounted 20 rand per card for the next 500. 20 rand per card for the next 500. And oh yes, sorry, yes, for the next 500 card, and further discounted this one. That exceeds this one. Okay, so kushutila, we need to take another 500 here because they said for the next 500. Uqale yathatha u500 ukuqala, so many people put it to 500 wesibili, 3 times ngalo 20 for the next 500 times 20. Let me close this like this, and then again plus what else they said, because this is for the first, is 500 times 24 for the first, and then for the second is another 500 times 20. Okay, and a further discounted 18 rand 50 per card for the number of cards that exceed 1000. Let's check the number of cards that are more than 1000. Okay, let's say maybe amakadi awashayile, maybe u-enter share 1050. So is it 1050 minus 1000, and then kuzosala 50 rand. That 50 cards times this. So now we're going to implement that method. It's prop number of cards. It's prop number of cards minus 1000, and then times 18 rand 50. Alright, yeah, isiphelele ke manje. Okay, so now we are done manje ngani or calculator in the standard cost. So now we need to return. We need to return this value and put it here. Semicolon. Okay, so now I write it in an error. Ngizobe ngichaze futhi ukuthi why we need to include this virtual here is because the method sizoyidinga ku child class. So ukuze sikwazi ukuyisebenzisa exactly njengoba inje, we need to put virtual ukuze sikwazi ukuyi-override when we come to the wedding child class. Okay, so this is class wedding. We need to include public here. We need to include public. So now we need to inherit from the parent class. We need to inherit from the parent class. So now here, since this is a child, and then we need to put the colon here. Put shift and then input the colon, and then now let's put in the parent class. The parent class is standard, right? Is standard. Here is the standard. Enter. Okay, and then so a relationship between the child and the parent. So the child is inheriting from the parent. Okay, so now we need to declare the manje ama attribute esiwadingayo ku wedding. Iwaphi lawo ma attribute lawo ezowa declare la. Okay, let me check the manje ilokhunjane yethu. The parent yethu, our parent. Okay, i-wedding inalawa amalokhunjane phela enawo lama extra embellishment. It has only these attributes esingawa declare. But le cost le asizoyi declare ku class. Why? Because here we're just displaying the result. So this is ibhekene nani lena with the button class. It called under button. So we're going to do that under button. So now we need to declare the last storage amount that represents this extra embellishment. So now we are going to say private double because the money. Let me say this is extra embellishment. semicolon. Then let's put the property structures. Okay, it's public, public, and double prop, the property structure of this, then copy this and paste here, then put the curly bracket. Okay, now we need to put the getter and setter method, get, and then return. What are we returning? We are returning this. We are returning extra. Okay, we are missing a semicolon here. Then what else? Setter method. Then put this, then assign to the value, and then semicolon. Okay, so now we are done with our property structures. Our property structures way2 for this class is only one. Yes, it's only one because it's no attribute A1. So now we are going for our constructors. Okay, the first constructor is the default constructor. The default constructor. Okay, default constructor must be public, and then the name of the class, which is wedding. The name of the class, wedding. Then put the bracket. Outside the bracket, open and close the curly bracket. Okay, scroll down. Okay, so now we need to inherit your manje the attributes that we declared here on the parent class. Remember, we used this relationship with inheritance. We are inheriting from the standard. So what are we inheriting here is this attribute, this when we inherit. So remember, standard is a parent or a base class. So in order for us to access this, we need to use the base. We need to use the base base dot pop number of cards. Yes, Layavela. Remember, these are the default constructors, and then we assign to default values, semicolon. And then what else that we need to include here is this one. Yes, this one that we declared here, and then assign to default value. Okay, remember, this one is not from the parent class. We declared it here with child class, so there's no need to further base. No base law or represent which name property name, the attribute name is not from this class, but is from the base class. Is from the parent class. So we are inheriting this one from another class. That's why we use this base dot pop number of cards equal to 0. So now let's go for parameterized constructor. Then again we use the public. It's public. Wedding again. Public wedding. Open the bracket. Outside the bracket, open and close curly bracket. Alright. Okay. So kuma parameterized constructors is whereby we put la malukunjani la eswa declare. We need to declare new parameterized variables here as we represent our attributes ala. So our two major attributes now la the is pop number of cards and pop extra embellishment. So number of cards we int munga checker here. It was int, yes, and then embellishment is double. Here it shows it's double. So now we are going to start with the number of cards. Going to say int, let's say this is cn card number, comma, double, and then let me say ex for extra embellishment. Okay, and then here what are we doing? We're going to say base again, dot pop number of cards equal to cn, semicolon again, then pop pop extra embellishment equal to ex semicolon. Okay, we are done manje ngama constructors. Where are we going to now? We are going for methods. Okay, so now that's where manje I will give the explanation of this virtual that I used in this method. That's why manje seems to understand that why I used virtual here, the parent class. Okay, why I used this one? It's because we will need this method here, the child class. Remember, we are inheriting. Ukuze nale method sikwazi uku-inherit amele ibe virtual ukuze sikwazi ukuthi si-override where here ku-wedding class, ku-child class. Why is this override here? Okay, let me do it again. We are going to say public override. Okay, just select this calc basic cost. Then once you select calc basic cost, it's exact 80 public override double. This is the data type that was used here, double, and then the name of the method is the same as this one, and then this here return. May see return it base dot the name of the method. Why is base here? It's because this method is from the parent class. Okay, so now we need to use base because results from the parent class. So remember now, our main aim here is not to calculate the basic cost, but our main aim is to calculate what? Let me do it here. Our main aim here is to calculate the total cost. Which will include the extra embellishment on basic cost. Okay, so now here we need to add what? The embellishment on what? On the basic cost. So that's why now we use the basic cost to declare as virtual on the class, on the parent class, so that this was going to override on the child class. And then from here, now we need to add what? Because they said total wedding cost, we need to add what? The extra something, lama extra embellishment. So remember, see declare as what? As pop extra embellishment. So now we're going to add this one here on this method. We're going to add this one. So here it's preferable ukuthi ufake ama bracket like this one. Okay, yeah, so in method yethu izo overrideka ke manje le method le when it comes to the child class. And then kule method le izobe si add what? The extra embellishment services on what? On top of the basic cost. Ukuze ikhiphe ini the total cost. That's why here I say we are calculating what? The total cost. So the total cost we need to add what? The extra embellishment. That's why here kule class le we did not declare anything that will represent in a boolean type le ilokhunjani. Remember ukuthi lama extra embellishment ama boolean, ama checkbox they represent ama boolean values, they return true or false. So now we can't declare something which is a boolean value here. Why? Because ngeke sikwazi we access boolean class. We can only access lama checkbox button. So now here we need to represent these extra services ngemali. Since each service here has got a different cost, so now we are going to represent that in terms of a cost. So that's why we declared that as a double, and then we said extra embellishment. So now we are going to add this cost here. We're going to add the cost here on top of the basic cost. Ukuze ikwazi ukuthi sum up the 2 return in the total cost. So now with total cost we are going to return the calc basic cost. And then okay, yeah, for now we are done running a method in child class. Let's go for the button code. Okay, so now with so pala code to under button, just double click here, it will bring you back here. Okay, so now before we pala code here, remember what they said you need to, okay, kuna options and what click la, you have options are type of cards. You have my type of cards, it's either wedding invitations or greeting cards. But for now, I said I'm going to do only one parent class and one child class, which is wedding card, which is wedding. Okay, so for now I'm not going to consider this one, I'm just going to consider this one. So now my options, now my type of card, we so far only one option here of card, or wedding card. Okay, so let's figure when the card, when the form initializes, mele is literally in mele is visible lama options no wedding card. Okay, so here I'm going to call the name of the combo box, which is CMB. The name of the combo box CMB card type dot items add open the bracket, open double quote, and then I'm going to say wedding card. Okay, then semicolon. I'm just going to add only this, the wedding card. Okay, now I'm going to do manje equal to under button. So under button we need to declare manje okay manje lamalo kunjani esiwadingayo from ulokunjani from the parent class, and then again so declare nama variables that we declared where here the child class. So for now we have got 2, right? We have got what? We have got the number of cards and what in the extra embellishment. Okay, this is what discover will come out. The number of cards is an int. Number of cards. Let me assign it to 0, and then okay, it's double extra embellishment. Okay, we share it equal to 0, semicolon. Okay, what else? We need to imagine in the cost classes of server corner in the cost. This cost, which cost? This one, this cost. Okay, that cost is double. Cost is double, and then let me say it's cost assigned to 0. Okay, what else? This is a thing we need let me check. Okay, let me check this. What else? Did we declare classes or server corner this? Okay, the number of cards we declare that one. Where are we going to serve to this one? The basic cost. Okay, basic cost is a server here on cost, and again put the total cost. The total cost now is a server on this one. The basic cost is server la, and then again the total cost is server la. We're just going to use lentolium overriding, so it was we determine on short edge. Okay, what else? I think it's fine for now. Okay, let me go to the coding. Alright, and then for now, this is but for now let me stop here. Okay, so now what do we need now? We need to convert the number of cards. What is the number of cards? Let me convert the number of cards equal to the number of cards is int, and then dot pass. You can use convert if you are used to convert, and then we used it on the text box. This one, the text box. So let me say this is gonna be txt number of cards, and then dot text, and then semicolon. we're done. So can you put sense in a lane up? Oh, this one is not. Okay, after sasi convert la, then what else we need here? Before we display the basic cost, the standard basic cost, we need to instantiate here. So I'm going to say instantiation. Okay, so okokuqala sizo instantiate using the parent class. The parent class is standard. This is standard, and then the object name is objs. It's object s. This s stands for standard. Okay, ungayibhala ngendlela yakho. You can rename this on your own way, and then new, then the name of the object. Sorry, the name of the class, and then brackets. Okay, today I'm going to instantiate to visualizer based on parameterized constructors, meaning here I'm going to include these variables, this attribute here, the number of cards. Okay, I'm going to put it here. Okay, remember here on the standard class we included this one where here parameterized constructors. Where are the parameterized constructors? Here. Okay, yile sifakile here ile number of cards, the number of cards, this one sifake here ku standard where kuma parameterized constructors. Okay, so sifake only one attribute sifake the standard. So even here we need to do it exactly. Here it's only one property number attribute sifake upi ilokunjani ku standard class as a parameterized attribute. Yes, so you need to make sure ungawuthi musufake number ngale kulokunjani ku standard class ufaka ama number of cards, and then masufika la usuzofaka i cost. So don't confuse, you must make sure that you really understand izinto ideclarayo here. Okay, so now what do we have to do? We need to call the method. Which method? This method. Where is it? This one. This method. We use storage in the value of the basic cost where on this cost. So now I'm going to say cost. Oh, so now I'm calling the method, right? Oh yes. So I'm going to say cost equal to, and then I'm going to take this object and put it here. Sorry. objs dot calc basic cost, then put this brackets and then semicolon. Okay, usebenzani no objs. This obj helps you to have access to all attributes and methods in this class. Which class? The parent class, which is standard. So now once you use this object, the instance of this class, ngamanye amagama you are saying this is class. This is a key oyisebenzisa to access all the attributes in this class. Ukuze thina sikwazi access this method, we need this instance, we need this object. So the object isiza ukuthi sikwazi access onke ama attributes akuphi akuleli class. So that's why we created a new object here ukuze sikwazi access this method, and then sistoresha kuphi here ku cost. Okay, so now we are done manje no basic cost. What else manje sidingayo? We need to display what? We need to display the basic cost here. After we have after sesilandile here, so kumele si display ke manje remember ukuthi lapha si declare let me check it, just click this one. Okay, let me show the property structures. The properties window, okay, click on this one. Okay, so ngibhale ngo LBL basic card cost. Okay, so that's where we are going to store what the basic cost. Let me go to the form. So here I'm going to say LBL card cost, yes, and then dot text equal to. So now I'm going to take exactly this cost dot, remember this cost is an amount, so it dot to string, then open the bracket, put the double quote, and then capital letter C. Ukuzikwazi ukuzivezela ini amalokhu njani, ukuzikwazi ukuzivezela the rands and the cells. Yes, okay. So now we are done manje ngani nge basic cost, and then sesi display the basic cost. So what else do we need now? We need to check the manje ukuthi user is selected what type of nama extra embellishments. Okay, let's say mhlambe lapho until avele uzoselect wedding card, because then we have only one child class, so now select only wedding card, and then maybe uzo select here. But what if the user does not select any of these? It means the total cost yakhe izothatha exactly the basic cost izoyifaka la. But what if the user wants to enhance the standard card to be what? To be a wedding invitation card, and then also select any of these enhancements here. Yes. So if you select this one, we may enter the basic cost and then add the charges of this one, and then also display total cost. So now let's do that in the code here. So check ukuthi, let's say if let's check if the user selected the wedding lapho combo box, the wedding, if CMB dot should be selected index dot selected index equal to 0, and then open the curly bracket. Okay, I will explain this now. Lapha ku CMB card type igama le combo box. This is the name of this combo box. This is the name of this combo box here, the name. Okay, so here we need to check the majority who select a wedding card now. Okay, remember a wedding card, where is it? The wedding card here is the first option as of there. Why is it phezulu? Let me say maybe it was like this. And then la bese kuba creating. So when it comes to this one, most of the CMB card type dot selected index equal 0. So this one is selected the first option oyifakile la, the first option. Usuke ucheck ukuthi select the first option now. But if here you have put one, then checker the second option. So iqala from 0 to count. This is like arrays. Arrays, they start counting from 0. So even here, when you are counting, you start from 0, then 1, and then ganjalo. So this one will be our first, first index, but iqala from 0. Uma sifaku 0 here, checker this index. Yes, but if we find 1, then check the following one, the second one. So now we want to check only if there's a selector any wedding card, and then we are going to say CMB card type dot selected index equal to 0. So the first option here to as the I selected. So for now, let me remove this one because we are just dealing with one child class. Okay. What will happen if the user selected this index? This index represents wedding card. Okay, so what will happen? Now we need to check amalukuzana azoba selected lama checkbox. Okay, let me declare something here. The amount it is double limit extra equal to 0, because we don't know the amount. This is a check message selected. Okay, and then we are going to say if chk check checkbox manje was selected. Let me start with handmade dot checked equal true. Remember, this is a checkbox a returner ama values out to, it's either true or false. So these are the boolean values. That's why we didn't declare anything related to ama booleans with class le waiting, because we can't return a true value here. So it go to masiyenza phi lapha with button code. So here now I'm going to return extra plus equal to. Okay, now why am I putting this plus? Okay, I will explain that. Let me go to Amalokunja. Let's check what will happen, what will be the charges if the user selected what? The handmade. Okay, let's go to the, okay, if the user selected the handmade, let's go, handmade will be 10 rand per card, meaning the number of cards times 10 rand. So here we're going to say, where are the number of cards here? We're going to say num cards times 10 rand, then semicolon. Why we forget a plus? It's because these are the checkbox. Ama checkbox, what if in case the user selected options out two at the same time? If when ungawufakile no plus, ayizukwazi ukwa-add lawo mali kunjani, lawo ma calculations all two same time. But if ufake this plus, isho ukuthi izothatha lo value ezobe isevekela if the user selected handmade and again selected chk, let me put it chk envelope, again chk envelope equal true. Okay, here if the user selected the two options, handmade and ribbons, okay, izokwazi ke manje ukuthi ithathe ama answers or lama values o2 lawa iwahlanganise and then bese kunikeza i-total of the two. But if you don't put this plus, uthi nje equal, ngeke ikwazi ukusama lamali kunjani o2. But now sifuna ukuthi if you select 1 and 2, ikwazi ukuthi ithathe this iphinde ihlanganise nalama calculations ozobwenzela ikuhlanganise ndawonye konke lokho, ibizohlanganisa nani nale basic cost and then bese kunikeza in at the end the total cost. Yona nto esifunayo leyo. So now we are going to say number of cards again. This is the number of cards times. Let me check if I select a ribbon, what will the charges? Okay, if it's a ribbon, and then it's 5 rand per card. Okay, so this is gonna be 5.5 semicolon, and then let me check again. Okay, and then again for a checkbox we don't use else if, but we use only if. Because why is it not for else if? Kuma checkbox if uzofaka else if ivele ingasathe if wona uselect amanye ama options ayiwathathi lawo ma options, ivele ithathe le option yokugcina ozokubhala kuyo ukuthi else if, ivele isebenzisa only that option. If nje la uzothi wena else if, so onke lama options noma ungawaselect ngeke calculate i-answer, izovele izocalculate only i-answer of this. So ungaselecta wona this but izokufakela i-answer ama results of this of ribbons. Why? Because when you else if, so ivele ngawaconsider onke la uzoconsider only lo else if. So that's why we don't use else if kuma checkbox. We only use else if when kuma random buttons. Okay, no, this shouldn't be ribbons, this should be envelopes. Should be envelopes. What will be the charges of envelope? It's 15 rand per page. Okay, yeah, so it's for envelope it's 15 rand per card. Okay, so here we don't return anything, so we are done manje ngale. Kodwa ke there's something that we need to do again here. So qhubeka kwelandela video.
All right, okay, before we continue, we made a mistake here. We repeated ilokunyana. Okay, remember what we said declare here, extra embellishment, and then again is just declare for extra. So now we need to remove this one. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. Yeah, let me remove this. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here, and paste here as well, and paste here as well. Okay, so now into esidingayo, inside this we need to instantiate first before sensors izinto. Let me instantiate njoba senzile la. But now here sidila nani. Okay, remember the index represent the wedding card. Ilokuzi ayikho kulama options lawa, so it's not included on that index. So the index I check only option selector on the combo box. If we combo box here to a wedding card. A wedding card is our child. So now the instantiation here to yenza inside this if because it's full of check if the user selected the wedding card, and then inside this if statement, then we are going to instantiate. We're going to put wedding, and then we're going to create the object which is object w, this w for wedding, and then equals new wedding, and then open the bracket, and then semicolon. Okay, so now here we instantiation here to ngizoyenza njengoba senzile la. We used what? We used parameterized constructor. Yeah, parameterized. So we see inside here this bracket in attribute is what declaring. So again here we are going to do the same. We need to confirm command is check again ukuthi iwaphi ke ebesiwafakile lapha inside. Besifake ini cut number nani nama extra embellishment. So even here again we need to do the same. So we are going to add what? The cut number, this one. Going to take this one and add it here, comma. And then we're going to copy this one and add it here. Okay, so remember what this one is pindefuti saifagala my calculations. So now this one contains what? Contains these values. Contains these values now. It's no longer this value, but it contains what? These values. Alright. But again, remember what this one represent this. Okay, let me go to the method. Yes, represent this one. The prop extra embellishment. See, remember what we wedding class. Here, our main aim was to calculate the total cost, but we needed what? The basic cost. So that's why we overridden what? This method. So as in the extra embellishment. The extra embellishment is it up now. We are taking it from these calculations. This is the extra embellishment. So the extra embellishment uma sesifaka la iyakwazi ukuyithatha exactly izoyenza ilifane with which one? With this one. Ithatha this one izoyi-assign it to this one njengoba yenzile lapha, and then besithatha lo extra embellishment izo-add here. So this one is equal, this prop extra embellishment is now equal to what? Is now equal to this one, the extra embellish, the one which contains what? The values. Yes, so that's why lapa is simple la deal, but for now it has got 0. And then besibuya ke manje kuleli form leli izosifakela ama calculations, and then besiyayithatha ke manje iyoyifaka back ke manje izoyi-add la. So now it will contain what? The calculations from the button code. All right. So now after this, what do we do now? We need to call what? The method. We need to call the method as calculating here. This method. We need to call this method. Remember, this method is the total cost. Is no longer the basic cost, but is now the total cost. It's just that C override it's no longer going to display the same value with this one. It's no longer going to display the same value with this one, but a different value with the extra embellishment with this one. So now we are going to call this method. To use a CB's method liner, we need to use this object. So now the method is a server here on cost. So we are going to use cost is equal to obj dot calc cost, and then include this bracket and then semicolon. Okay, now here you need to be very careful, because here cost ufaka in the basic cost from what? From the standard class. That's why we used this object to represent ukuthi kahle kahle thina i-method esifunayo is from this class. So now it will just store what? It will just, here on cost, will just store the basic cost from the standard, and then that cost will be stored where? On the basic, on the LPL basic card cost. So now this one will be stored where? Will be stored here on this one. No cost of wedding invitations. Okay, let me check this one with CBZ here. Okay, see this on LPL wedding invite cost. Okay, LPL wedding invite cost. That is the total cost. So here now, what do we need to do is to say LPL. We need to display this cost now. Okay, let me remove this. Now in the setting area, we need to display this cost. See display again here. Imagine the cost layer. See display here. See vessel imagine the cost. Okay, so now we are going to say LPL. It's LPL. This one. Then dot text. Sorry. Should be dot text. Dot text equal to, and then this one equal to cost dot to string, because imali lana dot to string, then open the okay, and then put capital letter C and then semicolon. All right, so now we are currently done running the code here too. Siqedile yona nto le egcinene bekumele display. So now izokwazi ukuthi isithathele exactly the method esiyenze ku-pick wedding class izoyiseva ku-cost, and then iphinde futhi ithathe lo cost izoseva kephi ku-LPL wed invite cost, which is the total cost, this one. So the use of virtual and override isize ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi inherit a basic cost from the parent, and then sikwazi futhi ukuzoyisebenzisa kwi-child. So virtual ukusiza ukuthi uyakwazi ukuthi reuse the same method kwi-child class. Otherwise, if you didn't use this one, bekuzoba nzima ukuthi ukwazi kwi-inherit this method. Actually kahle kahle kungeke ukwazi kwi-inherita. So ukuze ukwazi kwi-inherita this one, uyisebenzise exactly because uyayidinga. Kahle kahle lento lena ithi i-basic cost is needed for all these cards. Remember, the standard card and the wedding, they're all cards, right? Kahle kahle, they are specializing on what? On designing the cards. Standard card is still a card, and then the wedding card is still a card. So all lama card lawa anani ana basic cost. So a basic cost is required to go on lama classes. With parent classes, there is a basic cost, and then again we need the basic cost, which is calculated in the total cost and your wedding card. If the user selected the wedding card, and then again we will need this one. Calculate in a total cost wedding card. So that's why the method less it declares such a virtual double the name of the method. We can see override when on the child class here. City public override double then the name of the method, return, and then base dot calc basic cost. So no base law this method is from the base class, norma is from the parent class, and then umuthi override usho ukuthi kule method le ebikhona ngale which parent class. Now I want to have a new new calculations but reusing same method. Let me repeat. From the existing method, this one from the parent, you need to reuse the method but with new properties. Okay, let me repeat again. This is the same method, but you want to reuse the method, not to calculate again, because already you do have the calculations from the parent class. So now, I want to reuse in the method that exists now. That's why I said override. And then now you need to add something on top of what already existing. Okay. So now let me go back to this one, to the form. Okay, we are done now displaying and stuff. Now let me save and run the code to check the results. Okay, okay, we are done. You need to be careful in my brackets. The brackets, be careful. The curly brackets, be careful. Make sure you don't instantiate this class, this child class outside this one, because ngeke sakwazi ukubiza exactly this one. Ngeke ikwazi ukuyi-access this one from the wedding. Okay, let me press Ctrl F5 to start. Now you can click start. Yes, in this my results. We need to run this program to test the results and see what is happening. Alright, it's Ranila. Okay. Let me check the magic here statement before Father Ama Lokunjanapa. Let me check this one. Okay, again if Father maybe let me put maybe 490 the number of cards here. Let me put 490. And then let me select wedding, and then let me click this one. Okay, I think okay. So look, we didn't include any of the extra embellishment. That's why it had exactly the basic cost here. So the basic cost is going to be the total cost here because of what? We didn't include any of the extra embellishment. Okay, let me select this one and see what is it going to change now. Okay, yes, it is changing. Okay, so it is 16,660. Okay, you can prove that and check a method. You can come back here and check the method, but for now, I'm not going to check the method. Okay, okay, the method CSAP, we did that here on the standard. Yes, for standard, let's check if the number of cards are less than 500, then we times the number of cards by 24. Okay, let me check that one. Okay, let me search the calculator here. Okay, statement city, if my number of cards they are less than 500, and then we are going to take the number of cards, which is 490. I'm sorry, it's 490 10 times 24. Okay, so this one plus okay, so velocity plus this one, the number of cards times 10. Okay, plus the number of cards, which is 490 times 10. And then let's see the total. Okay, yes, it's correct. Okay, because this one is the basic cost, and then this one is the total cost including this one. Okay, it's correct. So meaning our calculations are correct. Okay, thank you guys. If you have got questions, please ask and comment. I will send a video on YouTube. Okay, thank you guys. Bye.